Hey, how you doing? This is a video on the Dorian mode. It's built upon the second degree of the major scale. In other words, it's got all the same notes as the relative major scale. In this case, where it's G, it's got this A Dorian has got the exact same notes as G major. It's got an F sharp in there. So the sixth degree is what gives it its kind of cool sound, a minor sound. And it is a minor mode because it's got a minor third. The third note we play is a minor third interval. Whereas in the major scale, the third note was a major. But this one is a minor. And it also exists in the pentatonic. That's that minor third. That's what makes a pentatonic technically a minor scale. So anyways, so this pattern, this is the one I was brought up on. There's other ones, and this is not the be all and end all, but this is just how I learned it. There's pluses and minuses of any pattern you're learning. Most of it because of the fact that we have to shift on the B string, and that can kind of slow things down or give people a hard time. I've just learned to deal with it. And you'll see in this one what I'm talking about. It starts off, the pattern goes fifth for the A Dorian, starts off with fifth, seventh, eighth on the E string, fifth, seventh on the, sorry, did I say A string? E string, 5, 7, 8 on the E string, first, third, and fourth. Then my first and third finger on the A string for the 5th fret, 7th fret, and then on the D string it goes 4th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret with my first, second, and pinky. Same pattern on the G string, which is 4, 5, 7. B string is going to be 5, 7, 8, and then the same pattern for the next one down, the same fingering. So you get these little quick 2-note, because we don't have to change our fingerings. It's when we go to the G, which is first, second, to the B, which is first, third. And that's really great practice of just doing that when you're doing your exercises. I didn't mention in the other video, but have a metronome and just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Try and play them in time. When I went backwards, I went and I shifted my first finger down. When you're going up, you could either do it like that or do it like this. 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1. And that's how I'm doing it going forward. Just shifting ever so slightly. And that's a good way to start practicing them. Another good way, once you get those under your fingers and you have the pattern memorized and you don't have to look at the chart I'm sending out, which looks like this, by the way. Here's the chart I have so far. Maybe I'll make some addendums to it, probably. So that's what we got. Now, I'm utilizing, like in the other lesson, the 4-part series on the chords and tones, or whatever it was, chords and scales. This one will be using Chill Blues Groove, A Dorian mode backing jam track, and it's by Quist, Q-U-I-S-T. Great jam track, Mr. Quist. Mr. Quist, great jam track. This one, the chords are A minor twice for 2 measures, and then C and a D. Pretty easy, and then once again, part of my criteria for doing these is that it shows what chords being played, so you can start to hear the tones against the chords in the jam track, which is really good for your ear training and doing some of these exercises. Now, in my opinion, it's not the greatest way to learn how to solo. One, there's no frame of reference in terms of if you're doing it with a song, you'll have the frame of reference of a melody for a chorus or a verse, or at least the tonality of the melody of where it's happening. And that can be a great asset to whatever solo you're doing. It doesn't have it within the context of a song. But that being said, in my opinion, it's a great way to start to practice these scales instead of just doing this all day. Da, 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 da. Oh God, you're gonna fall asleep. And I lose another student. But if we still need a, not a frame of reference, we still need kind of what we're gonna do with these. So as this jam track's playing, let's keep in mind that what I said about that note right here, which is the 6th note, which in this case is a F sharp. That's that major 6th. It also is a sharp 4 in the C chord, and in our Mixolydian it's the 4th. We'll get onto that later, but over that A minor chord, kind of key off that note, shoot for it. Go back to our last lesson, our minor scale. If we play that minor scale against this, it's going to sound so off, and I'll show that. I'll play with the jam track. But if we play an F there instead of an F sharp, it's going to sound so off. It's out of the scale that they're using to make this jam track. It's got to be that. You can use it as a tension note, slide up or slide down. When we get the next chord after that A minor for 2 measures is a C. It's a C major, it's a 4th, so the accompanying scale is a Lydian. And we don't have to freak out, because if we just play a G major pattern that we learned for the last lesson, the C Lydian's there. In other words, here's a G major scale. If we start the pattern from the C or the 4th degree, play the same pattern, that's a Lydian mode. Kind of neat, huh? So you really know it already. You don't know you know it, but you know it if you've memorized the last pattern. So if we start on the 4th note of that G major scale, it's a Lydian. That's the key note of that one. It's a sharp 4. Maybe I'll say it. It's like broccoli for me. I hate this mode. See, Lydian. The only reason I like it is because of Satriani's Flying in a Blue Dream. He wrote that in Lydian, and until that point in my life, I was like, it has no use to me whatsoever. I was young. It's a great mode. I believe it's also used in Simpsons. Da, 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 da. I'm pretty sure that's Lydian. Da, 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 whatever. The next one is D Mixolydian. And you're saying to yourself, I haven't gone over it. You know it already. It's the same notes as the G major scale. If I start on here, it's D Mixolydian. Or up here on the Dorian. A Dorian, if you start it from the 4th note and start the pattern here, now you know Mixolydian too. D Mixolydian, but it's Mixolydian nonetheless, starting on the A string. What gives Mixolydian its sound is the 7th. It's got a flatted 7th. And for Lydian, it's a raised 4th. But what I want you to key on when that C chord pops up is the major 7th and C. You could also hit that sharp 4. Sound kind of cool. When you get to the D chord, play that flat 7, which is your C. And then you're back to A. Over the A also, pentatonic will work. So all those cool pentatonic licks, you know, will all work, and you'll see. It's a minor scale, so try those pentatonics. It will work. All right, let's play with the track, and I'll call out the chords as they're going by. A minor. That's that F sharp. C. Here's a D, there's a 7th. That's C, the major 7th. Here's the D, flat 7, root note of the A. Then we're going to go to the 7th of D, dominant 7th. This is just pentatonic. Major 7th of there, dominant 7th of the D. Well, you get the point. You get something that you can practice. Let's review what we've got here. We learned the other week E minor is the relative minor. And then we got G major. Now the second degree of G major is D dorian. So really from the open fret all the way to the 8th, we should have some command over this. Oops. Over all those notes and those frets. We'll go over more for the next lesson, but what else should we do? We should probably talk about arpeggios. Here's our D minor arpeggio with the 7th in there would be that note, or sorry, A minor arpeggio. Our C major arpeggio. If we include the Lydian note, it would be this one, our F sharp. We got another one up here. Starting on the 5th fret, 5, 7, 5, 7, 8. There's our 7th, which is the B. Oops. C. There's our sharp 4. Our major 7th. So that's C Lydian. Once again, you know it now because you know the Dorian. A regular major, C major would be this. We went over it the other week. This is Dorian or Lydian now. C Lydian. What else? And then the Mixolydian, D Mixolydian, which is this. Pick one of those notes and key off of it. It doesn't have to be the 7th, it could be the 3rd of D. It could be the 3rd of C. It could be the 3rd of A. It's that C note. Anyways, all right, have a good week. Have fun. Any questions or comments you got on this, let me know. Here's the sheet once again that I'm working off of. Those are the scale patterns. Eventually I'll learn how to do that with video editing, but maybe I could watch a lesson on that. All right, here it is. There we go. These are movable scales. I didn't go over that, but this pattern, if we move this pattern up to the 7th fret, it becomes a B Dorian. I move it up to the 8th, it's a C Dorian. Just take the root note and move it up or down. On the 3rd fret, it's a G Dorian. There we go. All right, take care.